Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video we're going to be talking about electric pianos versus acoustic pianos and why you might want to buy an electric piano against an acoustic piano and why you might want to buy an acoustic piano over an electric piano. Making a decision about whether you should buy an electric piano or an acoustic piano does depend on your circumstances, and hopefully some of the things that I talk about in this video will help you make that decision. So firstly, electric pianos are much cheaper than acoustic pianos usually. You can get free pianos on peer-to-peer selling sites. However, usually these pianos are in less of a good condition or they're not worth much anyway. But that might be an option for you if an acoustic piano is the way you want to go and you're just starting out. Any piano is a good piano to start on. For regular, good, upright pianos that have been refurbished or are new, you are looking at least 2 to 3 times the price of an electric piano. And this can be a big investment if you are someone that is starting out, so that might be a reason why you might want to go for an electric piano. Electric pianos are also better at space saving. If you are limited for space in your home, then an electric piano might be better for you because acoustic pianos do take up a large amount of space. This means that electric pianos also have the portability factor, so if you're wanting to move it around in your home or you wanted to take it somewhere, you can't really do that with an acoustic piano. Once an acoustic piano is in its place, it's going to be very hard for you to move it around very much. Another benefit to having an electric piano is the very fact that it is electric and what that can allow you to do. So with electric pianos, often you have multiple voices that are on the instrument, so you can change the sound of the keys. Also, most of the time with 95% of electric pianos, you do have a metronome built into the piano as well, which can be very useful for your practice. And as well as that, depending on the type of electric piano you have, a lot of them also have the ability to record your playing. This can be very useful if you're practicing and you just want to record it so you don't have to play when you're listening back to it and you can assess your own playing. There are a couple of other reasons why an electric piano just being an electric piano is very useful, so here's a few of those. So if you are into production or you're wanting to record yourself for any reason whatsoever, electric pianos have the ability to DI the instrument, and this means direct inject, which means you can directly plug the piano into an audio interface and then into the computer, and you can record yourself playing the piano for songs or for anything like that. If you have an acoustic piano and you wanted to record the instrument, then what you would need to do is you'd have to mic up the instrument and you'd have to go through a lot of hassle in order to get the same sound that you might produce when you are using an electric piano. Obviously, if you are recording the piano and you're wanting some room sound, then it's better to mic it up anyway, but for a lot of purposes when recording, an electric piano being plugged in is a lot easier. You can also use headphones on an electric piano, and you can't do this with an acoustic piano, and that will allow you to practice or play the piano whenever you like. If you have neighbours or you're living with someone else and you get up and you start playing an acoustic piano at 5 o'clock in the morning, a lot of people would not appreciate that. Whereas with an electric piano, you can just put your headphones on and you have no problem whatsoever. And this can also help if you're living with someone and you don't want them to hear you playing for any other reason, like you might be nervous about what you're learning. You might want them to wait until you've learnt the whole thing before they hear it. And just having the ability to use headphones is a very useful thing to have. And finally, the benefit to having an electric piano is the fact that you don't need to tune it either. With an acoustic piano, you have to tune the piano every 6 to 9 months, and on an electric piano, you don't have to tune it at all, it'll just stay in tune. This means that there is no ongoing cost for maintaining the instrument, and also you will never have an out of tune piano. So there are lots of benefits to having an electric piano, and electric pianos have changed so much over the years. They are now very, very good at replicating what you would get in a real piano. Having said this, there are some benefits to having an acoustic piano, and here are just a few of those. So the first one is pedals. On an acoustic piano, the pedals are built into the piano and they are an actual mechanism that are affecting how the hammers are hitting the strings. On an electric piano, if you just have the actual piano and not built into a bass, then you usually just get one pedal, and this is the sustain pedal. This means that you can't practice using the una corda, and also a lot of the time, if it's an external pedal, then that pedal starts to try and run away from you, which can get annoying. If you have an electric piano where the pedals are built in some way, then this isn't an issue, but for the cheaper pianos, then this can be an issue for you. The second benefit to an acoustic piano is the touch and sound quality. Unfortunately, it isn't really possible to replicate the sound of an acoustic piano because it's an acoustic event. When you play the piano, you can feel the mechanisms creating the sound that you're playing with your fingers. This means that within reason, there is actually no limit to how loud or quiet you can play or how sensitive or how soft you can play. On an electric piano, you are limited to what was built into the instrument to start with, and you won't be able to get any quieter than that, you won't be able to get any louder than that, so you are quite restricted. They are very good at replicating the sound, but it just doesn't feel or sound the same as an acoustic piano. Once again, this isn't a massive issue if you are just starting out because you won't be relying on such sensitivity when you're playing. Also, on an acoustic acoustic piano, you do have all the pedals required and they are built into the instrument, and each of the pedals does have a physical mechanism, so you can really practice using them and get used to all of the pedal ranges rather than just the one that would be given with a piano that doesn't have a bass. And finally, and perhaps most obviously, is the fact that an acoustic piano does not require a power source. All electric pianos are bound to the fact that you are going to need to be near a power source. This isn't really that much of a problem when you're at home, but it can become quite annoying if you are just too far away from a plug. And on an acoustic piano, you can literally put the instrument anywhere and it will sound and do the same thing. Ultimately, I think that you can't really beat the sound of a good acoustic piano, especially when you get better at playing the piano, you will really hear the difference. Having said this, I think electric pianos are better than bad acoustic pianos, and if you are just starting out on the instrument, then I think an electric piano is the way to go, because it will save you space, it will save you money, and you can put headphones in and various things like that. So I think electric pianos are better for those starting out, or if you can't afford to get a good acoustic piano. If you have any experience with electric pianos versus acoustic pianos, then be sure to let me know in the comments. And before you go on to this video, be sure to hit me with a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.